Managing Director, Desert Communities Office of Northern Trust, who is the sponsor for the Desert Literary Society and is here today to talk about the Northern Trust support of literature. Well, it is so wonderful to have you here, David. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us to be here today.
You're very welcome.
It's great to be able to share our story.
And that's where I'd like to start. Let's hear the story about how the Literary Society began.
Sure. Northern Trust developed the Literary and Prologue Society more than 20 years ago in Miami, and it was well regarded by our clients and our literary communities, and that program spread to over across the markets that we serve across the country. And the Western region has 7 literary chapters located in Beverly Hills, Orange County, the Desert Communities, Rancho Santa Fe, Las Vegas, La Jolla, and Santa Barbara. Our chapter started in November of 2000, so we've been around for about 9 years.
And it's quite a group. It's quite a wonderful organization. And your main focus is not only putting forth literature and the value of literature, but you also do a lot of work with local students. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. The students that we serve is a really important aspect of Literary Society. Northern Trust is proud to promote not only literature and book reading, but also students who have a propensity for writing and literary arts. And each year, our chapter sponsors a writing competition whereby local students submit writing samples and are recommended by their teachers. For the past 2 years, we have awarded $10,000 each year in scholarships to students. Last year, our first place winner received $5,000, our second place winner $3,000, and our third place winner $2,000. And these are impressive amounts, I think, because of the competition that students face for scholarships in an environment of rising tuition costs. And when funds are scarce, these scholarships and awards that we promote are increasingly important to the students.
Could you talk a little bit about how the essays, or are they essays or short stories, or?
Well, it varies each year. So, for instance, last year they were encouraged to submit a writing sample with a specific limit of the number of words to 1,000, and they were mostly essays on a choice of their own subject of their own choice. And the writing samples are judged by our advisory board members. And our advisory board president this year is Dr. Fred Yount. And other board members include David Bryant of the Rancho Mirage Library, local author Michael Kraft Johnson, Christina Gantz, a noted community member and volunteer, Debbie Hinton from KCET, Donna Martin, another extraordinary volunteer in the community, Dr. Charles Monell, and Sue Rappaport.
And that's quite a group of people from our community. That's incredible.
Well, they make a dedication to advising us throughout the year on various matters that involve Literary Society, but that they really devote a lot of time to reading the essays and spending time to really make the organization so special.
What time of year of the season are the essays, short stories, whatever it is they're going to write to be judged for scholarship? What is the usual date that...
Well, it's funny you asked that question. Our advisory board just met Monday, and in previous years, the submissions were due in April, and the awards were presented in May. And we felt like that's a very busy time for seniors to be sampling and putting forth their writing samples. And so what we did was we decided we're going to move it up about 3 months this year. So we think that the writing samples will be due in January, and they'll be awarded sometime by March.
That's a good idea, yes, because there are a lot of organizations also that do work with students, and then they've got their college apps to go through, and I think it's a great idea.
And for students that are interested, their teachers will be contacted by Literary Society. We contact all of the English and literary teachers at local high schools, whether they're public or private, and the teachers are asked to recommend students whose writing they're familiar with, who really warrant submissions in our contest.
And when do you make this contact with them?
Well, each year the teachers have the contact made by my associate in my office, and we expect that contact will be made this year prior to Christmas break, maybe late November.
And you contact all of the schools in the Valley?
Each school has a contact, correct.
Okay.
But for anybody who feels like they'd like to submit, or if that communication isn't clear getting to the students, they're welcome to contact our office.
Would you give that telephone number?
Sure. It's 770-0026.
Now, Northern Trust has been wonderful in terms of promoting literature and keeping books out there before the public. Could you give a little background on Northern Trust itself?
Oh, I'd love to. Northern Trust is the largest trust company in the United States. We do investment management, full-service banking, and trust services. We're headquartered out of Chicago, and we recently celebrated this last August 12th our 120th year of doing business. We've always been doing business as Northern Trust. We're independent. We are owned by a large percentage of employees, and originally started by a family as a private family office. And we've grown. Our largest growth periods have been in the Depression and over the last couple of years, which, interestingly enough, people flock to our organization for the safety and security that Northern Trust has been known for throughout its existence.
Now, the mission statement of the Desert Literary Society, if you could just mention that again,
Sure,
is...
I'd be happy to. The mission statement of Desert Literary Society is to bring the finest contemporary authors and poets to the Coachella Valley to share their ideas and increase literary awareness among members, guests, and students.
Can you mention one of the authors that appeared in the Valley last year has become very well known, and you got her before her fame spread? Could you mention her name and what she wrote?
We're so excited that we had Elizabeth Strout last year wrote the novel Olive Kitteridge, and we were honored to have her. She spoke to our group on a Friday afternoon and shared her story and how she's persevered through her writing and the challenges she's faced. And we were so excited to learn that on Monday, following her Friday appearance with us here in the desert, she was notified that she won the Pulitzer Prize for her novel, Olive Kitteridge.
Isn't that amazing? The timing couldn't have been more perfect.
She was on tour with our Prologue Society when this occurred, and it was really exciting for her to share that with all of our organizations.
Now, how is the selection made to determine what authors are going to appear where, and does each organization, each society within a geographical area have their own choice to make, or is it done by a particular corporate office? How does that work?
It's done in a region, and so we're part of the Western region, and our local chapters, by local I mean in our geographic area of Southern California, which also includes Las Vegas, we get together various representatives from some of the chapters who meet in early summer, and we certainly have a vetting process that has already been done by the time they meet, and the various representatives from the chapters select the authors. It's also dependent upon the willingness of the authors to make the commitment to travel through the various chapters of the California Literary Prologue Society.
Now, how do you make this selection? I mean, is it, do you hear about authors? Are you in touch with publishers? Or, because it's not easy with the hundreds of authors out there to make this selection. So, how do you go about that physically?
Sure. Well, certainly we work with their literary agents who make known to us the availability of the authors and their willingness to participate in a series of meetings like we do. But also, so many of our Northern Trust clients and literary society members have a keen interest in literature and authors, and they bring their own ideas to us. So it's more of a collaborative effort in determining the pool of authors that we would select, and then it becomes more of a logistics effort to actually schedule the authors, and that's done internally by a representative from Northern Trust.
Well, the logistics I know about because certainly as you know, I interview authors, and there is a lot of logistics involved because first of all, you've got to get them here, but also it's timing, when the book is coming out, when they want to go on this tour, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And fall is a really big season for a lot of new books coming out. And in the past, you have had Vince Flynn as a guest of Literary Society, and I often, when I talk about Vince Flynn, like to say every woman in the place fell in love with Vince Flynn when he was there for his presentation, and I'm going to be having him on my show. So,
well, lucky you are, because he was enjoyed by all, and that was the one meeting that we've had the highest male attendance as well.
Yes.
The house was packed. We were at capacity. We had well over 250 people in attendance, and so many of the Literary Society members brought their husbands with them, and not all members are female, but certainly we definitely had a well representation by the male gender as well. So.
Well, yes, that's for sure, because his books are fantastic, and once you start reading them, you can't put them down. So they are popular between both male and female readers. But of course, he's quite a handsome man, and I think a lot of the ladies really didn't know, and when he got up there and started talking, it was the funniest reaction that I've ever seen. But he was funny himself and a great speaker. And so you have brought a lot of really terrific authors into the Valley, and with a lot of fun memories, such as Vince Flynn. Can you talk a little bit about some of the authors that you're going to be having this season?
Sure. We've just announced our 2009-2010 season, and it will start on Tuesday, November 17th. And on that date, we'll feature Michael Gross of his book, The Rogues Gallery. And in January, on the 14th, we have Jane Hamilton coming to present Laura's Writer's Masterpiece. And in February, we're excited to have Paul Theroux, wrote A Dead Hand. In March, we'll feature Alan First, Spies of Warsaw, and in April, Alexandra Fuller, The Legend of Colton Bryant, and in May, we'll wrap the season up with Joseph O'Neill featuring his book, Netherland.
The thing that's great about Literary Society also is the way you really do mix the genres, and you try to get something of interest for everyone, as you talked about, both women and male readers. And the interesting thing, too, about a group like Literary Society is the fact that the speakers, not only are they great writers, but they're wonderful speakers. And that's a tough combination to get.
It's a very tough combination, and sometimes we don't know exactly how they're going to present. And so each writer brings his own style to our meetings, and sometimes they talk about their struggles and how they came to where they are. Others talk about the books that they write, if they're a part of a series, how they keep that going and what might be coming up next. Some of our authors have been presented with opportunities for motion picture deals, and so it's a wide variety of presentation styles, which always seems to surprise the membership.
Yes, and that's what makes it fun. Now, for anyone that would like information about the Desert Literary Society, who may they call?
They should contact my associate, Lisa Dean, at our Northern Trust office, and again, the number is 770-0026, and Lisa is the coordinator for Desert Literary Society, and she's always willing to provide information to any interested people.
Well, I want to thank you for being here, but I also want to thank Northern Trust for keeping literature alive, keeping books alive. It's very important in these days of computers and newspapers falling by the wayside that we keep literature going in the schools and in the community. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jacqueline. It's a pleasure.